Good morning, friends. I'm here with Diego Tapaz. Perez Tapaz. So, Diego and I, we've known each other since the beginning. Dije que he conocido a ti desde el principio. He was who I purchased the land from that would become Karuna, and something we've been collaborating on. So when I first purchased Karuna, it was basically just an old abandoned coffee farm, rocks, old trees that weren't really producing, that had been burned out by chemicals. So this and some other coffee trees that we cultivate in the forest, we've been on a long journey of restoring the land and also restoring the relationships, the relationships with the people, because when I've been researching the coffee trade, it's really disheartening how even fair trade is not fair. It's exploitative, and it just gives people on the other side an impression that they're getting the good deal that they aren't. So we have our Karuna 2025 Coffee Harvest. This is the fourth year. And the first, Diego era el encargado. So Diego was the boss. His wife and some family members were the harvesters. His daughter dried the coffee on the roof, and what they normally get paid a good wage at $4 a day, I've decided that in this coffee, this limited Karuna coffee blend that we have, to really just start right from the ground up. So I have paid the workers $40 a day, single mothers, breadwinners, and so the coffee is amazing, 100% organic, no pesticides, and we're going to show the workers now. Si quieres, nos puedes enseñar. Yo traduzco si quieres hablar un poco del café. So we are just marveling at how delicious this coffee is.
Así salió el café. Ya está tosteado, ya está horneado.
Sí, ya comí uno, voy a ver. Puedes comerlos, me puedes. Del vos es mejor. No quiero sacar la tuya de comer. Puedes comerlos. ¿Has comido los frijoles?
Sí.
Wow. They taste like nuts. That's when you know it's a really good, smooth coffee. So we're going to share some of our harvest. This is something I love to do with our workers. No está preparado, pero quizás tus esposas que les vamos a dar un pozo de cosecha. A ti también, Juan. Todos sí, ya han trabajado en ese terreno, así que merecen de la cosecha. Para probar, si quieren. Sí, es bueno. So it's medium roast. I keep it in beans because it stays fresh. Let's go visit. Vamos a visitar un árbol. Just something I said to the workers that, you all work on this land. There's some of their family members that harvested it, so they all deserve in the harvest. And this is something, so if you get Karuna Coffee, this is a project I want to put together this year. For the last couple years, I've been showing people this side of the coffee. I've done some videos in the forest. I also have some material. I'm going to put together a little, I don't know what you call them, a reel. Yeah, I was just going to say an ad, but no, a reel. Okay, we're back. So the Wi-Fi had a little thing. So, yeah, for the past 4 years that I've been growing coffee, restoring trees that had previously been treated with chemicals into fully organic, no chemicals, no pesticides, and then cultivating the relationships with the people who harvest it. So I think done an okay job the last couple of years opening the window to the coffee world to you guys to see, but I actually want the workers now to see who's drinking the coffee that they have harvested, because I've never heard of workers being able to actually see where their work ends up. So if you do buy Karuna coffee, I would love it if you take a photo of yourself with the coffee, preparing it with a mug, and then I'm going to collect those and put together a collage when I come back in a month and kind of give just a thanks and recognition to the workers to show them that what cups their labors end up in. So You know, in order, coffee's going up around the world. I've increased my quantity and kept my price. So, aquí está el café, see? Mm-hmm. So this is where it comes from, the coffee fruit. This is where it ends up. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Catherine. Well, I'll tell you what. If you do get some coffee, Catherine, I'll throw you an extra unit for free. Because I know that that's hard, So from the fruit to the bean, you can still eat the fruit. Ahí también. So these are all coffee trees here at Karuna. We also have a patch in the forest where I go retreating, where some of our coffee comes from, mixed with the trees from here. And this got me drinking coffee again. And I had moved away from coffee just because I simply didn't believe in the industry as I was moving into tea. But now I've become the industry. And you know, even though I'm just small potatoes, I have about a 40-pound production of coffee every year. I love the way that we're operating. And I love that, you know, Diego's wife gets paid 6 times when she works for our coffee production what she gets paid in other places. Diego's well paid. So from the ground, first the earth. You know, we've cared for the earth. This used to not be such a fertile ecosystem, but now there's all sorts of birds and such things around the coffee trees, bananas. So it's beautiful to be part of this and to drink, you know, a cup in full conscience. This is a really good thing. So slightly more expensive than what you get a pound at Starbucks, but it's extremely more good and fully more wholesome, and the relationships we're cultivating with it. Bueno, gracias Diego por todo su trabajo en eso, pero ese es tuyo. Uh-huh. Para tu familia. So, you know, my margins end up being pretty low on this because I give a lot away to the workers, to the producers of the coffee. Maybe I should stop giving it to family and friends. And then I keep some, I give some to Karuna so that we should have coffee here in the kitchen for the next, I think we ran out of coffee around December. So last year, it was almost the whole year that we were able to do that. Si quieres, ahorita voy con ustedes para las estanterías. Con Mario. Okay, so again, I actually want to make just a little clip down by this coffee tree. So I plan to come back though. The morning got away from me because I have a fully printed copy of Peons 2. I'm hoping to click the buttons to get it into the publishing platform today. A lot with my pending trip to the States, taxi coming to take me away. A lot of movements, but yeah, very joyful movements. Happy to see my mom and my brother and my other brother, and then my other brother when I go to North Dakota, and my other brother and my sister, maybe my other sister. Probably won't see my other brother and my other brother. So a lot of brothers, a lot of nieces, a lot of nephews, but yeah, so happy. We really were in a race to the finish to get this ready by the time I went to the States, but we've done it. And yeah, I want to continue telling the story of coffee. Coffee sits in a very difficult place in our culture, I think, because it's very exploitative in many ways for us to get our American fix of caffeine. Fair trade is not fair trade. Legislation was enacted to reduce what that means, so 10% of the beans can be fair trade in order for a company to put a label called fair trade. So instead of actually making it fair trade, what the big companies did is they made it easier to call what they have fair trade, and that's pretty unfair. So who doesn't have a voice on that label are the actual producers who, you know, I've been living in Guatemala 17 years, so I've seen their struggle, know their struggle. And I can't change the world, but, you know, having coffee trees myself, and I only started drinking coffee again after I started growing it myself. So, you know, I've watched these beans from when they were little flowers. I've had tea flowers from the blossoms of these beans, and it's within full integrity and just joy that I can be a little part of a solution to something that I didn't sit with me well in the world. Because you have to understand that coffee is, it's basically a poverty crop, because it forces, and this has been happening since the Spanish growing coffee, it forces locals to use their land to grow a crop that occupies it 12 months out of the year and only produces a harvest 2 months out of the year. It's very labor intensive to harvest because the beans ripen at different times. And so the laborers are usually first and foremost who gets screwed. And right here in coffee season at the side of the road, there's always a truck, some local guy, and those beans eventually end up in Starbucks. And like the wage those workers get, if they don't own the land where the coffee is, they're getting a couple dollars a day. So from this coffee, the workers got $40 a day, which is, you know, if you think they're usually getting, that's usually 10 days of work. So they got that in one day. Really. Hola, Miguel. Ya viene el café. Tengo una bolsa para ti, para probar el café del torrente. Hay más si quieres. Me avisas. See. More coffee trees. So you can see what happens. They ripe at different times. So like these ones are not good. But this is like the prime, the primo harvesting time. See? Sí, hasta la esquina. Y si hay más, sigue. Un poco. Sí. Okay. Perfecto. Sí, puede seguir. So we're replacing our cane fence, which it lasted almost 7 years. And this is one of the first moves I did. So if you're wondering how long a natural cane fence from the river cane costs, the longest you can really feasibly stretch it is about 7 years. You can see the state of it over here after 7 years, and the new stuff. But you know, in line with my values of relationship with the land, this river cane, a lot of people take it out of their land, but we've left it grow wherever we can. And now we got a free building material to keep our fence going. And so that grows. Ooh, mango tree. Yeah, you come in this season. Yeah, so let me know if you're coffee drinkers, if you've ever seen a coffee tree. I got to start putting this in suitcases, packing up some stuff from the Etsy in envelopes. Thanks to everyone. We're been having some great communications with some of you. I don't think that would be possible, Nicole. So the coffee berry, how to describe it? Let me get some in my mouth. I would say it's like a slightly astringent grape flavor. You know, but that, you know, I guess that's an interesting thing, because here's the seed gone, right? But kind of all that's left after you take the seed out is just like the skin, because it's you know, it's mostly pulp, I guess, around the seed that you kind of suck on. So I'm not really sure that you would get something like a goji berry. Thank you for calling it a berry, though, because we call it the coffee bean. Coffees are not beans, they're berries. And coffee is just the tea of the berry seed, you could say. All right, guys, well, I need to film a little clip for my coffee reel by the coffee trees. But my poetry collection, Peons, I got through the final drafting yesterday, got to the goal, locked myself in my tower basically all day to do that. I still have to do a little bit with the cover design, but I was actually planning not to go live to sell you coffee, but to read from Peons 2, my manuscript up there. But then the workers came and I was like, what? It's 7:30 already. So we went live, but please join me in about 20 minutes when I will be live again reading from that book. And yeah, please click on the link. Check out the Karuna Coffee Harvest 2025. So every year I've sold this out. You can chew down these coffee beans. I think it's a medium roasted, so yeah, it should be a medium roast. But yeah, I don't know why these coffee beans kind of melting. I was like snacking on them last night when I got in, and I was like, stop eating the coffee beans, Luke. You're not going to be able to go to bed. Let's see, is the link there still? I think I put it up, right? Hey, good morning, Aaron. Good to see you. Okay, here it is. So I'll pin it. I'm bringing 25 units to the States. I don't have enough room to bring it all. So we've had several orders. So this probably most definitely will sell out once I start having events in the U.S. So please, coffee while you can, and join me in a little bit. We'll have some coffee. I'm drinking tea this morning, but maybe I'll make some coffee in honor of the great 2025 harvest. And please join me if you have space. Have a beautiful Wednesday.